Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to make a start. So, dear councillors, you are hereby summoned to attend the meeting of the Hemsworth Town Council to be held in the main hall at Community Centre, Bullingshire Road, Hemsworth, held on the 11th of June 2026 upon the rise of the Leisure and Recreation Committee. Yours sincerely, Anne Wilson. Recordings of meetings under the Openness of Local Government Bodies Regulations 2014, members of the public may now film, photograph and make audio recordings of the proceedings of the public participation session. As this is not part of the formal agenda of the meeting, recording activity should be respectful to the conduct of the meeting and behaviour that disrupts the meeting, such as oral commentary, will not be permitted. Item number 1, apologies for absence.
This evening, Chairman, I have no apologies. Councillor McGuinness has got his hand up.
Can I just reiterate what I'd said earlier on, because I've circled it on here on our
it's been taken on board, Councillor McGuinness.
Regarding cancelling the Zoom.
Yeah, it's already been taken on board.
Thank you.
So item number 2, Chairman's welcome. The Chair will welcome councillors and residents of the meeting and give a fire safety announcement. So as previously, if there is no dress rehearsal, there's a fire alarm, it's a true fire alarm. The meeting where the fire safety point is at the far corner near the ball bank. Item number 3, declaration of interest. Members are asked to receive declaration of interest under the consideration of this agenda in accordance with the Local Government Act 2000 Part 3 and the relevant authorities. Disclosable pecuniary interest. Regulations 2012. Members are reminded that should you declare a pecuniary interest at the meeting, it is your responsibility to inform the monitoring officer. Item 4, public question time. Members of the public are advised that they are welcome to ask questions about items on the agenda or matters about the parish itself. It is not always possible to give a verbal response at the meeting, and questions may receive a written reply. No resolution can be made under this item. So, public question time. Anybody, any questions? Julie?
I've just had a word with Councillor Fernie about the actual filming of council meetings. We know the situation with Zoom, but at minute, the public who aren't able to attend are not actually getting a full account of what's happening in the meeting. They're just seeing the positioning of the camera on certain councillors. So I think the public need to see how they're being represented, how they're being voted for, who's abstaining, and who actually does leave the meetings. So we've asked time and time again, can the Zoom or the recording not go central so that the public can see all the councillors?
So I have previously asked Councillor Fernie to do a table like I think it was Lynn used to do, and Councillor Fernie declined to do that.
I know he has, I've just asked him.
However, as Ian has just suggested, we try and cancel the Zoom as we currently have, and then rejig it. So hopefully, not promising, but hopefully, for the next council meeting, it'll be streamed again and up on the website.
It should be the finance meeting.
The next
Friday the 26th.
I can't remember.
Something like that.
Jason?
I'd like to raise a discussion on last month's meeting, and in particular Duke Street and the double standards of comments made by councillors. So numerous times, so on Duke Street, and for the clerk's sort of information more than anything, I bidded on Duke Street and was unsuccessful, and acknowledged I was unsuccessful. However, the initial offers went in for Duke Street on the 17th of March 2003. We're now on the 11th of June 2026. It's probably the longest land sale for such a simplistic piece of land in history. And we constantly hear as parishioners that we can't talk about contractual matters and that you can't discuss it. I don't think all councillors understand exactly where the land is at. And given the really good speech by Scott earlier and the amount of money that's needed to try and get the water park back up and running and actually generating good revenue, I'm absolutely astounded by where you're at as a council and your responsibility as councillors to look after the parish the best possible. To talk about the double standards, numerous times last week when asked about it, you couldn't tell us the position. However, the chair was able to tell the public why my offer wasn't accepted, which, is that not a contractual matter? Is that not double standards? So you can't disclose information about the current bid, but you can disclose information about my bid. So that's the first thing. Secondly, there is an open complaint which Becca will be able, Councillor Rushmore will be able to verify, clerk, that there was a council meeting whereby I assume a non-standing councillor anymore actually admitted in open forum on recorded footage.
No, he is still councillor.
Oh, sorry, he's still a standing councillor. Admitted on recorded footage that he and another member had attended numerous meetings without the agent and behind the agent back with the winning bidder. And then when I raised that as a formal complaint under the council's complaint procedure, I had a meeting with the clerk after several months of trying following the complaint and Councillor Rushmore, where the clerk acknowledged he was conflicted having attended one of those unofficial meetings. At which point, Councillor Rushmore was taking the complaint forward, and this is all without prejudice, having already notified the council that the solicitors are engaged on the matter. Councillor Rushmore did her best, but unfortunately, members of the council were not willing to take part in the complaints procedure. And at that point, it went dead. So Councillor Rushmore notified me that unfortunately, the members in question were unwilling to take part in that process.
Point of order, please. I have never stated that I would never speak regarding this issue.
I believe Mr. Begg didn't mention anybody's names at
No,
all.
but I know that I was one of the people involved, and I'm still waiting to be interviewed.
So-
I asked both you and the other councillor involved and received no replies.
So
That is not true.
If I can
There
continue,
is an
please.
email.
Can
there is
the
an email chain.
gentleman,
chain.
I take what you've just
Sorry,
said,
Jason.
but can the gentleman just continue his
So there is still currently an outstanding legal matter between myself, or my business should I say, and the council, which at the point you complete on a contract with Gleeson's will become a formal matter, having had KC, QC advice at the time, but having had KC advice. Last week, and already spoken to Maxine about it, the public were misinformed that Gleeson's had actually put, or the winning bidder, or the preferred bidder, however you want to refer to it, had already put a planning application in, and therefore it was too late to do anything further. That is incorrect information, and Gleeson's, or the preferred contractor, had not put a planning application in for that land.
So why have they put it on
So
their Wakefield
I could be wrong,
website?
you'll correct me if I am wrong,
Certainly
but I
wasn't.
believe I said that anybody can put planning for anybody's house. I can put planning for your garden.
Right, so
And I don't-
sorry,
And what I said,
just to correct you,
I believe-
that was referring to where you were in the legal process with them. Maxine informed, as a councillor, informed the public that a planning application had been submitted and therefore it was progressing.
But if you look at the website, it's showing.
It is extremely misleading.
it
Maxine,
is,
because they've
it's
shown a layout
showing
plan which
Bateman's-
covers
Can we
the
just,
land.
one person at a time, please?
It's showing Bateman's and it's showing our land and it's showing our houses on it.
So it's
It's
okay.
But there is,
misleading.
So it's misleading, the
planning,
information's got from
you
Wakefield.
have a clear red line boundary.
So
and
everybody
that is
thinks
what the
that it's
application
that all
is
that
for.
land's going
So,
for development.
3 years on, we've got a disputed bid process because members of the council have admitted on recorded footage in this chamber here that they took part in meetings that they shouldn't have. The clerk also admitted in front of Councillor Rushmore he took part in those meetings also. We've just had another member of the council,
Not me.
no, acknowledge he took part in those meetings. Last week there was numbers put about that I put forward, and again, dual standards, the chairman gave a reason why my bid wasn't accepted, and the reason was there was too many conditions to it. I can talk about my offer because I put the offer forward. I put 2 offers forward. One of them, including affordable housing, was 2.12 million. Now, as councillors, you'll know exactly what the offer is that you are currently accepting, but it certainly isn't 2.12 million. And there was 3 conditions to it. subject to planning, subject to ground investigation, and subject to an invasive weed survey. 3 conditions on a 2.12 million offer with 25% affordable. It then came back to council, and council said they were looking at going down the route of affordable, and they'd gone back out to all bidders to put an offer forward on affordable housing. I was not contacted to put an offer forward for affordable housing. I think the way the council have conducted themselves is absolutely atrocious.
Not
I
all
think-
councillors. Jason.
Sorry?
Not all councillors.
I can only talk as a collective
Yeah.
because I don't know what happens behind the
Yeah.
scenes and which councillors say
I
what.
think we know which ones have
What,
been involved.
what I can say is that you as councillors have to make the best decision for the parish, okay? And if you can all stand there and say you're making the best decision 3 years on without being any further forward when you're in such financial dire that you are, then I think you should consider yourself as councillors. And that's not from a biased position, that's from somebody who takes part in land transactions on a weekly basis, and you're 3 years in and you still can't update the public as to where you are. I think it's absolutely atrocious.
Maxine, had your hand up there?
Can I just add to this that the councillor in question stated that it were going for social housing, affordable housing, but yet Jason it just told us that he offered that.
We were on the council when it was come through originally.
And
Under
just to
But-
reiterate, and it can be
Gleeson's
said as
didn't.
hearsay, but the reason for not selecting my offer, as confirmed to me by numerous councillors, was because there was a belief that I was related to 2 previous councillors because of a surname that my mum has due to marriage. And there's absolutely zero.
as the only sorry, I can't see it from Maxine, but as the only person on the council at the time, that was not the formation of any decision that I certainly made. I went on the advice of the expert that we.
Yeah.
I wasn't involved in this
Were
because
you
by
in
the time all this were going off, I'd already quit because I thought,
Well,
It's all starting
I-
Jimmy's.
I
I am
Jimmy's
more
law.
than
Oh,
happy
yeah.
to any members
no,
of the
it's
public
not,
to
it's
share
not because he was
my
doing it
offer and the
differently.
correspondence from
It's
the
not Jimmy's
council
this.
on the complaint.
When he's talking about, he's not talking about with Jimmy.
Yeah, so I think what you were in your first question, you were late to when we first actually accepted the bid, which was under Jimmy's council, and the expert we employed, and we picked the person. And then it's moved on to like this.
No, because we hadn't quite picked. If you remember, we were having meetings, and by the time it was come to that, it was said there were three. Sorry, not 2. There were 3 thingies, and we hadn't picked. That was done. The new year,
Okay.
the new council.
So,
Carol?
So, it come to council, Jason, and it were a full council. We had a meeting with, can I name him?
Sanderson Weatherall.
South Central Weatheralls. It come out, there were 4 offers. And he told us we asked for social housing, we other aspects for that area. He told us to sit on it. We are still sat on it as far as some councillors are aware. We have asked constantly for updates and meetings with him.
You've had the same meetings that I've
Yeah.
had with him.
So it has been sold. There's nothing. As far as I'm aware, we're waiting for him to come back to us and say,
if as a council, you are still not in a deal, we are probably one of the largest regional developers who work with housing associations. I can name 3 in question, and we're building a scheme out at Redbeck for a housing association, a scheme out at City Fields for a housing association, and we've given more for those than the site on our previous offer to yourselves, and time's moved on. But I think as a council, you really need to look at where you're at, because the information is so conflicting, even between councillors. Carol's saying one thing, the chair's saying another. Everyone's saying something different.
I'm going to have to move progress with this on if
I'm-
it means that.
Dale's got his hand up.
I fully appreciate it. Sorry, Dale.
Well, obviously, there's a few councillors who are unaware of actually what's happened because it is that long ago. Can I request that all councillors who sat around this table gets all the offers back in, have a look at it,
Yeah, we'll get in touch with her.
and basically if what Carol is saying, there is no existing deal there,
I don't know whether
Can we
you
not
got
bring
the
it back to
email,
the
but I've
table?
already asked for this.
Can I just say, because we're public questions, we can't make any decisions as the council. The only thing I can do is put it back on the next agenda. I'll just say to Jason, if you bring me everything, I'll have a look through it. Okay. We might sell. We're selling Bank Street, as you're aware, and this land, but the money can't be used for revenue. It can only be used for capital projects. So actually, that doesn't really help solve our financial problem. It means that we can spend it on assets, which we may well need to, but not actually everyday spend.
Just to really quickly follow up on that, I completely understand those rules, and not to dwell on over, but if that deal had been done 18 months ago, then the money that you would have gathered from that sale would have meant you wouldn't have needed to sell Bank Street, because you would have had the funds to repair it to keep it generating it revenue. You would also have been able to do many things at the water park that you've been unable to do that would have been generating revenue, and therefore as a council you wouldn't be in the position you're in, or wouldn't be in such a position that you're in. So while it can't be spent on day-to-day activities, it can be spent on repairing the roof at the community centre, which is still leaking. It can be spent installing solar panels on properties to reduce your outgoing. It could have been spent on Bank Street. It could be spent on a mini golf place down at the water park. It could be spent on the pedlos that we need to increase revenue. So while it can't be spent on day to day, I've just listed 10 things there that you don't have the money to do that generate revenue.
Get me a splash park in that.
I have a long list of things that keep being given to me that councillors and staff might like to see the capital spent on, and all that you've listed is already on them. All right.
No problem.
So, Becky, just quick,
I just
we
want to
really
go
need
on
to close.
record as I am one of 2 councillors who actually voted against the whole development thing at the last meeting. So I'll go on record saying that I voted against it, because it wasn't exclusion of press and public, and
I was also the other councillor that were against all this. Everything, well, we were kept in dark about everything, basically.
no,
And we won't
from
take it
previous.
council.
Yeah.
That's fine. So I'm going to call public question time now, ladies and gentlemen. So item 5 minutes. Members asked to confirm the following minutes. Now there is a motion in that we need 3 clear days for to review minutes. So documents should be sent. However, I'm going to propose, if councillors, if I get a second, that we suspend the standing orders at the moment and review the minutes, as I think people have time to look at those. So I propose that we
I think
suspend standing orders for this moment, and have I got a seconder?
I'll second it.
All to suspend standing orders for this motion? That's carried. So annual meeting, Wednesday 27th of May 2026.
The one thing that needs to be amended is, I think I had 3 different versions as to who was on the finance committee, but I now have chapter and verse, so if you bear with me, I'll read you who is actually on the finance committee. And these are 3 different versions from councillors, not from me. Right, I'll tell you who's on the finance committee. So the finance committee is made up of Sean, Becca, Maxine, Gary, Ian, Kev and Keith. That is your finance committee as per the video.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay. But I have, so I kept having people tell me all sorts of people are on it.
Yeah.
You also didn't know names of all people, so it's understandable. Carol?
Can we ask for these to be deferred, because like we said to Anne, you've just said there's that one mistake.
One,
isn't
that's
it?
the only thing
Yeah.
on it.
So if
One.
we can,
Well, we've asked, so that's why I suspended standing orders so that we can discuss this and vote on it.
yeah.
So, sorry.
I have got
So
a
all
list
that,
of
all that there was, that the amendment is the finance committee, there's nothing else now on it that is incorrect. For members of the public, I had a few issues with people's names and things at the last meeting, but it was my first full council. Okay, so that's all that I think is now wrong.
There is one other thing. I didn't email you regarding this, clerk. The dates that are on there, it's 2027 that's down on the minutes on number 1, 2017 that's down on the minutes for number 2.
That's a typo.
No, that's what I put in my email, that I presume it's a typo. But when these are published on our on our website, then obviously the correct date needs putting in.
Absolutely, and they will be.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Please don't keep having a go.
I'm not having a go.
Can I just make people aware that I am not getting emails? I didn't get the email from about the minutes or anything. I'm not getting emails, and plus I'm being left out in other emails, which I shouldn't be.
But you can't be, because it goes to all councillors.
It's
a
not
councillor one.
coming to me. I've
That's
proved it.
Can I just say, the chairman did tell me, then you replied to somebody's email, so I assumed that they were still working. You replied to an email last night, perhaps? I'll
Last
sort
night.
it out for you, no problem.
And
at
I
all.
did reply to an email last night.
I think one of them was
Can I
your
just come
personal
through?
one, Maxine.
Eh?
Can we have, excuse me, just a conversation through the chair, please? You're right, yeah. Yes.
Can I just point out that if you do put Maxine's name down for an email, her old private email plus her council one comes up second. So it's possible that it's been
It's
just
not going in my private one either. Nothing's
stop-
going in my
stop that,
private.
lass.
You can have a look.
I did the
private one
same.
wants removing.
I did the same. Once you type, you've got to do it yourself.
Yeah,
You'll type in the email address, and there'll be an X
Yeah.
inside of it, and press the X, which then
that's what I do.
that email address
It just
will not
might be
show
just a
up.
bit of a.
So yeah, I know that when I come back on Maxine, I had issues because they give me the same email address, and it was causing all sorts of conflicts. Maybe it's call you Maxine one or.
That's what it.
Any other questions regarding minutes? So can I propose to approve the minutes subject to the amendments? Have we got a second for that?
I'll second.
Sorry,
I will amend these minutes and then they'll be signed by the chairman on, if you're all happy with that, we'll put the correct finance committee in there and just change the numbers. It may be that this one's been uploaded today, but I'll get it taken down and the other one taken.
Sorry that I'm butting in again. During your statement last time, you mentioned £50,000 for Bank Street. You confirmed to me this evening it's a different figure. That one's changing as
I
well.
can't, because that's what I read out at the meeting. We'll make that a note on the minutes tonight.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's the minutes for the annual meeting and the joint council meeting on Wednesday 27th of May. Sorry, we've got a second. Have we got all four? It's carried.
Can I have the official figure then? If I only know 50,000.
Well, I've been told today it was 75.
Right, thank you.
I was originally told a couple of weeks ago it was 50.
Yeah.
Just for 2 seconds.
Just pause the meeting for 30 seconds because Councillor Darby has some mobility issues and we've got an aid to vote.
All right.
Alright, everybody, we'll make item 6, finance, the local clerk of the council. Sorry, I need to. I don't know together yet. Yeah. So we're back to standing orders. Can we have a second for standing orders? And then all back to standing orders. So finance, the local clerk will update the council on the current situation with the accounts. I believe you also did this in the last meeting. Situation there.
So I've circulated the invoices paid to date. I have one real big problem, and that is we need to pay the council insurance, and we also need to pay a North Yorkshire Humber Association. I will try and pay those in the next week. So the insurance is 48,000. But you can see, councillors can see that we've paid quite a few invoices in the last week, including solicitors, the energy, things to keep the water park going. So we have chosen quite a few here, which we paid. So that's better. So the accounts are being updated on the 24th and 25th of June, when we're having inputting done externally. That then gives my colleague and I the opportunity to look at the accounts at year end, but we also need to put in the first 3 months of this year, which we will do when we've got the last year done. I'm speaking with the internal auditor a week tomorrow as well, so the things are moving on quite quickly.
Okay, Carol?
So last meeting, you read what were in banks, and we had 304,000 to take us to next 3 sets. You also stated that we owed HMRC 103,000, legal fees 11,000, there were wages to come out, there was so much to come out. What is at stake today? Have these been paid as HMR been paid, as legal fees been paid?
Right, so HMRC hasn't been paid, the insurance hasn't been paid, Ramsden's legal fees of 4,200 have been paid. We still owe Schofield Sweeney 9,699.
Can I ask what that is for?
They're just their legal fees to
Can
do with
I
the
have
sale of the
information
property.
on this?
The sale, to do with the sales of the properties, is my understanding when I asked Harriet.
It's a what, that?
It is.
As it were a private sale? No.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So, the chairman, vice chairman and myself have just signed the Bank Street tonight, so that it will exchange tomorrow on Bank Street.
That's a different legal fees. So, roughly, with the figures what you gave last month, we were owing, with insurance, 150,000 plus,
At least, yes.
and we've got today 90,000.
So we've got
90,000 that have been paid out of this 300.
quite a lot, yes.
What are we left with today? Because councillors must be aware that you are liable. If there's no wages to cover staff, we have to find it. Am I correct?
Well, you've got to pay everything if you
Yeah.
don't, if you haven't got the money, I'm afraid. So you have,
why
I
did
think
you
it's
vote on
around.
It needs to be pointed out so you take more notice of the finances.
So I'm just telling you, the current account has about 10,000 in it.
Yeah.
The wages account has about 288 in, although they
Right,
have
and
to use some of that to pay the insurance. And the bank, the actual bank deposit account has 0 in it. The CCLA has 195,000, but they've got 100,000 coming out of it on the 180-day account thing. So we've already signed 100,000 out of it.
And have we still got 288,000 in wages?
We have, at this very moment in time, you might not have.
So what have we been paying wages out of since
They have been
April?
paid, we've been paying the wages out of the wages account, but I'm not able to sustain not paying some of the video out of the current account because I can't do it. And although we've taken 100,000 out of CCLA, that's on a 180-day account. And I've spoken to them today, and we cannot do it any quicker than 180 days.
Yeah,
So
that's
somehow
not-
I'm going to find the money for everything else. But I mean, there are options to us, and I'm going to look at some of how we can.
I'm just confused because at start of the year we all got sent an email, what were in this bank account, what were in that bank account, and there's more in wages now than there were in April, but yet you've had 3 months of wages come out of that?
The way that I see it, it has been topped up, having looked at it only today. So it's been topped up to ensure that there's enough money to pay the staff. But we may, I'm not saying we won't pay the staff, but we may have to look at borrowing some of it in the short term to pay some of the other liabilities. If I don't pay the insurance by next week, we will not be insured. And you just need to, you need to be grateful, but I've worked with this insurance guy for a long time,
Yeah.
so he's been really kind to us, but next week is literally the end. I'm really sorry, Jason, we can't take questions at the moment. So, yeah.
You also need to change on them standing up, them notes in, because last week, you just stated there were 142 in CCLA, you just stated 198.
Yeah, but that was,
Yeah.
but, okay, I appreciate that, but I think we've taken some money out of it, and I just need to look at how much there was.
Okay.
So we are working hard on trying to
Oh, I
sort
know,
it
I
out,
know,
yeah.
But we need to ask questions, I'm asking questions, because at public, they've asked these
I've got
questions.
no issue whatsoever with you asking questions.
Thank you.
So that's item 1. So the second item, members are asked to note the schedule of payments attached, which was sent. That's just a note of payments.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what yeah. So moving on, item 7. There, change 7 to 8. Item 8 then, meals during the summer holidays. Councillor Conway will speak on this item. Can you use your microphone, please?
No.
Councillor Conway, can you please use your microphone?
What it is, during school holidays.
Yeah,
Should go off, I think.
during the school holidays, people know, and some don't, there's still a cost of living crisis out there, and some families rely on school holidays and school-free meals. Now obviously, during the holiday period, they're not going to get that meal. So I thought I'll come with a solution. But in my previous job, it said don't bring problems, bring solutions. And my solution was, I'll source a sponsor, which I have done, and it's a reputable company who have actually said, I don't give you no free food, because what I will do is give you a £500 account with this company, and you'll come down and take what you want when you want. And we'll let you know how much is in that account every week. Right, and I wanted to do that free of charge, in just once a week, provide a meal for them kids out there who can't eat. We're going to miss out on a free school meal. But not only them, the parents as well, because people don't realise the amount of people who come to me and said, Kev, I'm not your coat. I don't eat, I've out to eat there, I make sure my kid has something to eat, and I will eat what that kid leaves. So I'm going to say, all right, then a mother can come in and have a meal as well. And not only that, with the vulnerable adults who came with the one space I run, which was very successful and very well supported by County Dixon, is that right? Right. And all it was bowl in a row. But people come in actually crying because they didn't realise it was free. And they kept saying, I can't afford it, Kevin. So you don't have to pay it for free. That was the only meal they had all week. And that's people on two days a week, so he comes Thursday, Tuesday and Friday. I asked for 2 days, which were better for me because I've got disabilities as well. And obviously one of the days I picked was a no-go, so I picked 2 other days. Again, I realised this was going to be cause trouble, so what I thought I'd do is have it on the day when I actually hired the centre out, Wednesday, and use the slot I had for the discounted dinners. So we have to the coffee morning. And like I say, it's £500. The company is very reputable, but Annie told me, because everything...
Can we just not name
Sorry,
staff? I know,
the deputy clerk told me, you want to book the centre, you've got to come through me, she does it all. Right? He said, Kevin, you've got this, but you're not having it until you tell me who your supplier is. And I said, the supplier is...
We're just getting into arguments regarding staff.
No, I went through the proper channels. The deputy clerk hires the room out, and she said, let me know who this person is, and you've got it, right? I said, right, fair enough, it's so-and-so. She said, oh, they're a fantastic company, we have food from them, we've got an account with them, that's brilliant. So I thought that would have gone, but no, it isn't. I've had a lot of stock put on it, so...
Yeah. Okay, unfortunately I wasn't able to meet Councillor Conway this afternoon at the Fitzwilliam Centre like I was going to. But Councillor Conway and I have had many conversations about this, and whilst it's a fantastic idea, and I think the heart's in the right place, there's a lot more to it than that. Because if we're going to allow our insurance to be used, then we need to ensure that all the legal representation is actually made, like keeping diaries on the day of the food, keeping portions of food. Unfortunately, for very good reason, which I think was explained to you, I didn't turn up. I actually left and had to come back here. I actually left and I got as far as the traffic lights and came back. So there are many things that we need to have as a council. All the agreements with Wakefield Council that's in place for the provision of food. You're going to use our insurance. We need risk assessments. We need to ensure that all the dietary allergies are catered for. Unfortunately, it's not quite as simple. I'm not saying that it's a bad idea, because I think it's a lovely idea, but we just need to make sure that everything is covered.
I just want to point out, obviously, I've aided in the service of free school meals in the holidays for the past 3 years running. That will be running again this year during the summer holidays at 2 sites, one being Hemsworth Town Council site, the other is a Hemsworth Town Council site, but it's not the centre. Obviously we have our own insurance and everything's fully funded. It's nothing, you've posted online about everyone being against this and everyone's against you, and it's nothing to do with that. You need your own insurance so that, if anything happens, you've got to take liability for it. Every other community group has to have insurance, has to provide it to the office. As a councillor, HTC are not there to spot you on everything you do. If you want to be a community group, be a community group. get insurance, get a bank account, constitution. It's the same for everybody else. It's not about being against it. I'm fed up of being slagged off online saying I'm against it, I'm against it. At no point have I ever said I am against anything.
At no point have I ever
Yes, you have. You've put it all over your
Can we just
Facebook,
have a,
Kevin.
can we have a point of order, please, the disruption of me?
I'm not having defamated posts put on Facebook about people saying they're against it when no one has said they're against it. They've said you need to take the right tracks.
Just, you can answer the back.
It don't matter.
Okay.
I'd like Councillor and to show me what I've mentioned and I'm on Facebook, I haven't.
We're not getting to petty arguments
Yes,
on
I have.
Facebook.
That is untrue, I have not mentioned nobody.
I've seen evidence of the contrary, Councillor Conway, so.
But you're untrue then. All right, then you show me where it is.
I will later, not this moment. So, just a moment, so are you proposing a motion, or,
Yeah, I want to run it.
okay?
You can get your own insurance.
I can't afford the insurance, that's the problem.
You're talking between.
Are you using Fitzwilliam Centre, Kevin?
Yeah,
Which is a trust,
yeah,
run by 15 councillors,
All over Facebook.
correct?
yeah.
So.
You need to read law. You need to read the law.
Yes, you do.
Yes, you do.
So
No,
how many-
nothing
how
to do
many
with the
groups
trust.
that
Can we
come up
just,
here
can we
and got
just,
their own
can we just,
insurance?
please, can we just,
How many at Fitzwilliam Centre have got their own insurance out?
Everybody.
all of them?
No,
We've
they
all
haven't.
got him.
No, they aren't. So that needs looking into. Maybe having a meeting on with Kevin and councillors who are wanting to do this and to get these stuff so it can go ahead.
It's already been
It'd be
provided.
So who ain't got insurance?
Well, Hemsworth Town Council has insurance, but Councillor Conway as a community.
No, she just
group
said
doesn't
some
have
groups ain't got insurance.
Mine's in the office.
She's.
You're taking things and you're taking out of proportion.
I'm not taking it out.
Can we-
She
excuse
just
me,
told
point of
me
order.
that some groups ain't got
Point
insurance
of
for the
order,
community
item
centre,
two.
which I know is totally untrue.
Ladies, point of order, item 2, if it continues, I'll be pushing a motion for the people in the argument not to be heard during the rest of the meeting. So please, can we just not row, we can have disagreements, we can discuss things, that's totally fine.
The thing
But there's no
is,
need to shout.
can I just state, the thing is, the stuff what's coming out is defamatory to other people. And it's wrong. It shouldn't be doing it.
I agree.
And I've got for some of it too. Right, well, big time, I think I've got for it. Right, Councillor Conway, I'm very happy to meet with you. Today was an exceptional reason. Some councillors know why. That I got to the traffic lights and had to come back here. But I'm very happy to meet with you. I will send you an email. I'm back in the office next week. I'll send you an email and meet you here and we will talk it through. But there is no way I'm going to let this council agree with you doing it until I am confident and I've seen every bit of paperwork that we require. Okay?
Can you supply me with what you need then?
No, I'm not supplying it to you. You need to go to Wakefield Council. You've got it in emails. Read your
You
emails.
haven't told me what you want from me.
I have. Read your emails. Please read your emails, Councillor Conway.
So I think that motion's to be deferred until the clerk's got more information. Have I got a seconder for that? All for?
I've got him all.
To defer it until the clerk gets more
Oh, no,
information.
actually, I wouldn't be there.
That's carried.
Against it.
Item 9, the water park. There have been many comments and complaints about the fact that there were people swimming in the lakes at the water park over the bank holiday weekend. Members are asked to consider the issue of swimming in the lake, a first aid tent and other related matters raised on social media. Could I just add regarding swimming in the lake, there was some incidents a few years ago under the previous council, and I believe the council went out to Wakefield to ask their advice because they had companies.
I went on then.
We were on then, and the advice was put up signs and do not have guards. Otherwise, if people choose to swim with signs, they choose to swim with signs. That was the advice then.
Lifeguards
Wakefield,
were
I
not
believe,
allowed.
is not changed.
Wakefield Council.
Vicky?
First aid tents, I'm against. We have got first aiders down at the park. If we put a tent up, we've got things in there, and if you put a first aid tent up, you've got to have qualified staff, paramedics, St John's, not just our council staff. So we need to be very careful about that. So I am against a first aid tent.
I think Councillor Guinness had your hand up then. I think
Yeah,
second.
it's regarding incident a few years ago. I know we've had some tragedies in there. This particular incident, a lady took us to court because her son had an eye infection.
You can't talk about it.
So I do know what you can't talk about it. I do know what you're referring to. However, the council didn't get found liable.
That is,
Sorry?
we're going to say that, but
That's what I was going to say,
Yeah,
but
sorry.
I apologise.
Yeah.
We were not found that liable, and the insurance company turned around to us and said, we've got enough signage up, so it's up to the individuals.
Scott, because you remember the staff, you can...
Regarding first aid tent, we're already stretched with staff as it is. We have got quite a few who are first aid trained, all over Park, but to have one just allocated there in a first aid tent, we haven't got staff to do that whatsoever.
As Vicky stated, we could not staff it. You have to have paramedics,
Right.
doctors, or people from St John's Ambulance. We could not do it ourselves.
Can I ask that question?
Yeah.
Do all staff have radios in case of an accident or
Yes.
emergency?
Yeah. We've all got radios. Obviously they have them in Play World, they have them all over. Everybody's got one. That's
And
why.
you dealt with an emergency?
Yeah, we had an
didn't you?
emergency a bit ago, and that got through to us all and basically saved someone's life from it. So yeah, it is working now. We've got it, and
So if a first aider was needed, one could be called within
Yeah.
seconds?
there's probably one always in Play World, two else free round, and then one or two in maybe in cafe. So there's 5 maybe a shift. So like on busy periods, there's
And
always
we are only
first
legally
aiders there.
required to provide
It's
basic first aid.
emergency
Yeah.
first aid.
So Carol's had your hand up for quite a while.
So if you look at the insurance, it states, I don't know if you've read insurance on, but it states if you've got more than 100 people, you should have this, you should have that. If you have more than 200 people, Dale will know more because you've got your licence, Dale, so you would have limits on your stuff.
Martin's law is going to change
Yeah.
things for us, but it doesn't have to be implemented till next year. But I have recently done the course.
But on our insurance, it's void if we haven't got these things implemented, so we need to be looking at the insurance.
I have literally
Yeah.
tonight gone out to get the asset register redone as part of the insurance. I've read the insurance today.
Yeah, but it states on there, so first aid when you're doing events and stuff like that, we've always had
So
security.
you've just said when you're doing events, we agree.
No,
Events are different.
it states over a certain amount of people, so you'll need to read that insurance
I
policy
know,
to
it
make
says
sure that
events.
we're covered, that you have got
We
these
have first aiders on
amendments.
site.
There's different kinds of first
I
aid.
know, there's different kinds
Right.
of first aid.
So if-
However,
Councillor
you
Rushmore,
only
can you
need
come
to
forward,
pay.
Chair?
Level 3, they're all level 3.
No, they're not all level
They
three.
are, they are the
Can
level
we
3.
have, excuse me, sir, can we have one conversation at a time, please?
You've just said they're all first aid trained. There's level 3 is at an higher.
They are level 3,
Well, the manager's here, they don't know.
Okay.
Can I just say, do we stop when there's 100 people in park and say,
You can't come in.
can't come in?
I just stop people coming
It's
in
a
public
park.
You
It
can't,
is a
but
park.
you have to be prepared for it. You'll know when that weather gets
If
to.
you cause
We
an
have got,
accident,
we
yes,
have
you
got,
do first
Carol,
aid.
emergency first aiders, staff. We've got them. Emergency first aid is what it says on the tin. You are the first person in that emergency. You contact emergency services. You tell them what you can see, hear, smell. And
Could-
that they act upon that.
Could I just point out,
Emergency first aider.
yeah, could I just point out, again, on social media about what was Vicky bring? She actually trains out first aid. That's all I'm going to say.
So,
So,
please
Councillor
look,
Dale, you had your hand
Vicky's covered it.
up? Okay,
so please look at insurance to see if we're covered.
okay, I think, okay.
Regarding your signs, Scott, I totally agree. It did come to council a couple of years ago that there was too much signage and we had to take so much signage down, didn't we?
I'm not
Until-
sure now what.
yeah. It also, you have stated you put that there's some new signs being put up?
This is Hemsworth Town Council watch thing, isn't it?
No, it is.
Well, we know the sat amongst us.
No signs put up.
Well, I don't think, they're not new signs, the signs that have been there for a lot of years, I think.
Some of
So-
them nipped up and replaced them.
To deter the swimming, why are we advertising on Hemsworth Town Council pictures of lakeside with swimming in? Why are we?
Where's
That's,
that?
that
On
interferes.
Hemsworth Town Council,
Yeah.
on one of
There's-
that, is it?
There's pictures,
There was one image with the fire brigade there when they said about
It's
the
the
fire
one, they
brigade.
weren't swimming though, if you
signs.
look. If you
It's
look,
on
they
our
weren't swimming,
signs.
they were paddling.
Paddling.
There's a
and-
difference
but you're not
between
listening, you're not
swimming
listening.
and paddling.
Yeah.
So to resolve this then, can you please get us that, send us all that thing then, please?
And your signs, it would it be more interesting to have a sign saying, that you said it here, Scott, I have not seen none of them signs up at Lakeside,
Think-
stating,
Oh, sorry, I do apologise, go on, carry.
stating, you know, it could contain blue and green algae, it could
It
do
don't-
this to you, it could do
Been
that to you.
tested last year, there's no
No,
blue green algae.
But these are, putting them signs up
If you look on there, there
stating,
should be a sign
Yeah.
that says blue green algae, possibly in like, there's
yeah,
about
but if
three
you put
about.
them signs on big,
You only put them
maybe
up
that'll
when
deter
it's
there is
been
one on
detected.
But
So-
we need more around
There's
them.
one, there's at least one.
Can I just-
If you
Ladies
look
and
at
gentlemen, so-
pictures, you might see. there's
Ladies and
quite a few
gentlemen,
blue
can we
green
have,
algae
Scott,
on
can
there.
we go on conversation at a time, please?
Can I just say, the only pictures on the website show ducks, they don't show any people, because we've just looked.
That's an official Hemsworth
Oh,
Town.
okay.
Hemsworth Town Council watch yours one
There's
with the
more,
fire
there's more
brigade.
than one.
Can I just say,
But a private Facebook.
Can we have one conversation through the chair, please?
can I just say, we're getting a lot of negativity about this. It's serious. As a parent, a grandparent, would I allow my children to go in there? Absolutely not. No, I wouldn't. It's a parent's responsibility. Now, we're talking negatively constantly about it, which for me is damned annoying, because for about 5 years, let's change it to a positive. How about, let's start doing some fundraising. Let's get a splash park in Play World, a safe water area. So let's be positive about things. Who's willing to do that? Absolutely very few people. That's my bugbear. I would love to see a splash park in there. I've said it for about, Ian Womersley went on here then,
That's what it needs.
going way, way back. And I've said it for years, along with accessible swings and everything. So turn it to a positive. If we want our children in the villages and Hemsworth Town to be safe in water, get a group together, get fundraising, and get that and make it happen. Other councils have done it, Nairn in Scotland, all over the country, and that's what they've done.
They don't get much more.
In
Ian?
Scotland.
No,
In Scotland.
no.
In view of the negative social media posts, can I suggest that we draft an official council response and put it on our website?
We did that under the previous government and it just received more abuse.
You just get more abuse in.
Just stop posting fake, council stop posting fake profiles and encouraging the fake profiles would be a good start.
I don't.
I'm not, I didn't say you, I said
Not
council.
you, Ian.
So, to move,
I don't know.
to
And
move,
friends of councillors
to move in
answering
crowd,
themselves, sorry.
yeah. So,
Genuinely frowned upon to talk to
so the
us.
water park, I don't think there's anything to get considered, no votes as such, no. Okay, so before just doing item 10, which is the date of the next meeting, can I just mention that twice this council has voted to approve a events panel for various reasons, names have been lost and that sort of thing. So I think what we're requesting is the people who volunteered so then we can kick off a meeting. I don't know Vicky Dale volunteered.
I said I would, depending on what time you to work.
Can I volunteer even though I'm not on council at the time?
I can send you a list, it's in emails.
Oh, no, we've got three
There's
different
about
lists.
There's three different lists again,
Three
Carol.
different lists circulating.
I came in the other day to ask for it and it was like, which one
Which
is
one
it?
do
And
you
I
want?
went,
So Carol, Ian, Keith,
Keith.
Ian.
Maxine. That's lovely. So let me just check. Vicky, Dale, Becca, Carol, Ian, Keith, Maxine, and
Paul.
Oh,
so I've done this. So I didn't need to.
Are people willing to
so,
actually work
I think-
and
I
make
think it was
things
on it.
happen as well? Not just an
Office
events
staff
panel.
were on it all, weren't they?
there will be office
You know
representation.
that, Kev?
Yes.
There will be staff on it, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, so can I just again, as Vicky reiterated, this will be an active
Working party.
working party. You know, you'll not just turn to a meeting and stick your hand up. The expectation is you will be physically helping and going down and doing bits, getting involved in events and all that sort of stuff.
Can I just say, Dale, Carol, Ian,
Me, Maxine, Becca, Keith.
Will this go under
Vicky,
Leisure and Rec?
Dale, Becca, Carol, Ian, Keith, Paul and Maxine, Vicky.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And that,
Yeah.
and then, as Councillor Hearn has just said, that'll go under the leisure and rec. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Does that include invites from the public to join in?
Public were
Public
invited,
was-
but nobody put
We
forward.
put it out and nobody said that if
Oh,
anybody
we can
would
put it
like
out-
to.
We can put it out again. We've been asked again to join
Yeah.
us.
I believe that's only fair, but we obviously need to restrict it, so quickly, Carol.
Can I just, you've just said that it was under leisure and rec, no it don't, it comes under full council, because all events have to come back to full council to ratify.
Well, I need to look at standing
Yeah,
orders
yeah.
and see what they say.
Okay, so item 10, date of the next meeting.
What date is this event gonna be? Because I'm thinking now, since it was passed in January, we're now in June, I would like a date.
Could I suggest that you all arrange a little
Shall I
group
email?
and email us some dates, do it that way?
Are you okay with that, Keith?
Yep.
Perfect.
Scott,
So working
You're not
conference
under
council, well, sorry,
You're doing
working
it first
conference
one.
council,
Oh,
comes
first
to
one.
the office.
Yeah.
Right, oh,
Um,
Oh, I can't remember.
council meetings in July.
just bear with me.
Needs to be as soon as possible.
Yeah.
If you're gonna book stuff in for Christmas, you need to get it done like yesterday. No thanks.
So on the 29th, we could have events followed by, we're going to have staffing, followed by full council, all on one night, if you fancy doing that.
Why
Then
not?
that solves that problem.
yeah,
Is
'cause
six,
it's-
is 6 a good time for,
I can't make it at 6. I've got work.
okay, so we could do 6:45, followed by, I don't think we should do staffing events and then full council, and then find out whatever we're going to have full council.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Well, yeah.
So if
I
we
know
do
Max can't
staffing
make
first.
staffing, but it's, I don't know if you're on panel, I can't remember, but
You're staffing.
What's happening?
there's a staffing meeting, what do we call that, so.
And what time will you be calling it?
Well, we can do
half past six.
6:30 probably.
I might be able to make
It's a
half
quick-
past
it's
6.
It's a very quick one, it's not a.
Yeah, I might be able to make
explosion.
half past 6, but
Yeah, followed
6
by
o'clock I
events,
won't.
followed by full council then.
Okay.
Right.
So item 10, date of next meeting. Members are asked to note that the date of the next meeting of Hemsworth Town Council will be held on Thursday, 9th of July 2026, upon the rise of a meeting on the Planning and Policy Committee to be held at 6:45. Could I ask, so the meeting is closed, could I ask that the residents to leave, please, but could council just stay back for a few moments, please? Thank you very much, everybody, for